Have you ever stopped to wonder how you're related to, say, a mushroom or a Tyrannosaurus rex? Well, guess what? There's a map for that. Today, we're going on a journey through the massive family tree of every living thing on Earth, all to find our exact spot in the incredible story of life. Let's dive in.
You should think of this less like a boring chart and more like a huge, sprawling map that's been 4 billion years in the making. Every single branch, every tiny leaf tells a story of survival, of connection, of evolution. It's the ultimate story of us, and it connects every creature, past and present.
And here it is, the phylogenetic tree of life. Now, phylogenetic is really just a fancy way of saying it shows how different species are related through evolution. I know, it looks incredibly complex, and well, it is. Everything from the teeniest bacteria way down at the roots to a massive blue whale on one of the branches, it's all connected. This one picture holds the entire history of life on our planet. That's a huge question, isn't it? In all of this beautiful, magnificent complexity, where do we, as humans, actually fit in? Well, to figure that out, we're not going to start at the beginning. We're going to start with you. So we'll start our search in a part of the map that probably looks pretty familiar. We're going to zoom right into the branch that holds some of our closest relatives, the primates. Okay, let's zoom in a bit. This whole big section here is Mammalia. You know, the mammals. You can probably spot a few familiar shapes. Yep, there's the deer, the horse, even the elephant. This is our class, our big, extended family of warm-blooded, hairy critters. All right, let's get even closer. Tucked away inside that mammal branch, we find this group right here, the primates. And this is where things get really personal. If you look closely, you can see Pan, that's the chimpanzee, and gorilla right nearby. These are our closest living relatives on this entire tree. And right there, at the very, very tip of that primate branch, you see the genus Homo. That's us, Homo sapiens. After a journey across billions of years and millions of branches, we found our spot. And this is our "You Are Here" pin on the map. It's our starting point for our journey back in time. Now, before we start traveling back, we need to get one key idea straight: the common ancestor. It's actually really simple. You and your cousin, you share a common ancestor, right? Your grandparents. Well, on this tree, every spot where a branch splits is like a grandparent. It's the shared ancestor from which two different species eventually grew apart. So, now that we know where we are, let's start traveling back down our branch. It's time to meet some of our more distant and honestly pretty surprising relatives in the great animal family. Every time we move down a branch heading back towards the center of the tree, it's like we're stepping into a time machine. We're going backwards to find those shared grandparents, those common ancestors, and we're expanding our family circle with every single step. So here's the key thing to remember. The closer the branching point is to us, the more recently we shared an ancestor. For example, the common ancestor we share with cats and dogs is more recent in time, meaning we're more closely related, than the ancient ancestor we share way, way back with whales. Okay, you ready? We're about to take a much bigger leap back now. We're moving past just the mammals to find the ancestor that connects us to every single animal with a backbone. And this just shows you how huge our family really is. As vertebrates, our relatives include birds, lizards, and yeah, you're reading that right, even dinosaurs. We share a common ancestor with a T-Rex. And if you go even further back, you find the branch that connects us to frogs and even sharks. Wild, right? So we've met our animal cousins, but this journey is far from over. Now we're going to take some absolutely giant leaps back to the most ancient, most fundamental branches of life itself. And trust me, this is where things get really mind-bending. So let's just quickly trace our path. We went from primates to mammals to all vertebrates. The next major stop is Animalia. That's the common ancestor of all animals, from sponges to spiders. And after that, we go even deeper, to a truly ancient split that defines almost all the complex life we see around us. I want you to let this one sink in. If you follow the tree all the way back, we eventually reach the branching point that we share with insects. Yeah, you and a housefly are incredibly distant cousins. That shared ancestor, probably some tiny, simple little worm-like thing, lived over 600 million years ago. We've been on completely separate paths ever since. All right, brace yourself for what might be the biggest surprise on this entire map. What on earth could a human possibly have in common with a mushroom you'd find on the forest floor? It's absolutely true. If you follow our branch way back, and you follow the fungus branch way back, you'll see that they meet.
This means, as bizarre as it sounds, that all animals are more closely related to fungi than we are to plants. Why? Well, on a really basic level, both animals and fungi get their energy by eating other things, unlike plants that make their own food. We share a more recent common ancestor.
Okay, so let's zoom all the way back out. From our tiny little twig on the primate branch, we've journeyed all the way back through deep time, only to find that we aren't separate from the natural world at all. We're a deep, tangled, inextricable part of it.
You know, it was Charles Darwin who first really popularized this powerful idea that the history of life isn't some ladder with humans sitting at the top, but a great branching tree where every single part is connected to the whole.
And when you look at this tree again, you can truly see his vision. Every single organism you see on this chart is a success story. Each one is a living, breathing testament to an unbroken chain of life that stretches back billions of years, all of them part of this one enormous, sprawling family.
And that's really the ultimate takeaway from this whole journey. 1. If you trace every branch, every twig, every root, all the way back to the trunk, they all meet at a single point. All the incredible, magnificent diversity of life on Earth came from one single origin.
This tree is a record of the past, but life, of course, never stops evolving. It's happening right now. So what new branches are starting to form as we speak? And in a million years from now, what will our part of the tree even look like?